Good evening and welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Rafael P. Roman. After weeks of hints and rumors, Cynthia Nixon announced that she is officially running for governor. The actress, who is best known for her role as Miranda on the hit show Sex and the City, will challenge Governor Andrew Cuomo in the upcoming Democratic primary. Nixon announced her candidacy by posting a slick campaign video on Twitter in which she promised to fight for New York.
New York is where I was raised and where I'm raising my kids. I'm a proud public school graduate and a prouder public school parent. I was given chances I just don't see from most of New York's kids today. Our leaders are letting us down. We are now the most unequal state in the entire country, with both incredible wealth and extreme poverty. Half the kids in our upstate cities live below the poverty line. How did we let this happen? I love New York. I've never wanted to live anywhere else, but something has to change.
If elected, Nixon would become the first female governor of New York and the first openly gay governor of any state. But she faces an uphill battle. Recent polling taken before Nixon announced shows Governor Cuomo leading the actress by 47 points. Earlier this month, the governor downplayed Nixon's candidacy, joking she was being encouraged by either Mayor Bill de Blasio or Vladimir Putin. But 4 years after a largely unknown candidate, Zephyr Teachout, mounted a stronger than expected challenge to the governor, and with last week's conviction of longtime Cuomo aide Joseph Percoco still in the headlines, Nixon's candidacy may prove to be no laughing matter. To talk about the Nixon candidacy and what it could mean for the governor and for you, Metro Focus co-host Jenna Flanagan is with Jarrett Murphy, the executive director and publisher of CityLimits.org. Jenna?
Thanks, Raph. Well, of course, I'm here with Jarrett. So, Jarrett, she's been toying with it for a while now, but now that Cynthia Nixon has finally announced her run, should we be surprised?
I'm not surprised. The fact that she, as you said, had been toying with it for a while, she has a background as an advocate, she's not new to talking about politics, and we've known for a few weeks that she was talking to, serious political consultants and advisors. Once you get to that stage, I think as a person who has some ambition to do this, has a real kind of fire in her belly, it takes on a momentum and kind of becomes hard to say no, and obviously she decided to say yes.
Well, it certainly did light up Twitter when she announced. But moving a little bit away from Nixon for a moment, the Cuomo Hochul ticket has gotten the endorsement of the National Organization of Women, and yet here we have this woman who's running for governor. Is it a problem for Nixon that the Cuomo ticket got that endorsement so soon in the race?
I don't think so. I mean, endorsements, there's a lot of debate about whether they are worth anything, what they matter. Clearly in the weeks before this announcement, because it was anticipated, Cuomo and his allies began to try to sew up some of the endorsements. You mentioned now, some LGBT spokespeople and groups were saying that Cuomo's been a good friend of theirs, she doesn't need to run, trying to kind of lock up the establishment. But her whole run is going to be anti-establishment. She is not going to have the Democratic machinery, she's not going to have a lot of the kind of professional Democratic apparatus, including now and other groups that traditionally support, mainline Democrats. So I don't know if it matters that much to her practically. The storyline that she's a woman running to make news in that way, I guess not having the now endorsement works against that, but on the ground, it's pretty early for an endorsement to matter.
Well, of course, and speaking of endorsements, now, the last time that Governor Cuomo had a challenger from the left, that was Zephyr Teachout. And there was a lot of strife within the Working Families Party over who was going to get their endorsement. Now, ultimately, that endorsement, as we know, went to the Cuomo Hochul ticket. So is there any indication as to which way they might go in this particular race?
I don't think we know which way it's going to go. I think if it was acrimonious last time, and it was, I was in the room when they made the decision, it was very tight, it'll be more so this time, because since then the bad blood between the Working Families Party, its leadership, and Cuomo and his people has only worsened. And I think Cynthia Nixon, starting relatively early, I mean, Teachout came out late last time. Nixon has a lot more time to prove that she's not just an actress, not some sort of dilettante, assuming she has, those serious chops. More time to kind of reassure people that she's a serious candidate. I imagine that the conversation with the Working Families Party will be even less friendly to Andrew Cuomo this time. Whether they'll actually take the step of endorsing her, I don't know, that's what remains to be seen.
So now, when it comes to actually navigating this campaign, because obviously Governor Cuomo has been governor for 2 terms now and has name recognition all across New York State, but if here in New York City, where Cynthia Nixon is incredibly well known, and it looks like she's got some early support, if Governor Cuomo is able to split the New York City vote, does getting the support of some of those upstate cities, is that more important for his campaign or for her campaign to be able to go all the way through?
Well, it's interesting. In her announcement yesterday, which was done by video, which is how you announce for office these days, she mentioned specifically the poverty and unemployment in upstate cities, which I thought was an interesting move. I mean, Cuomo has been strong throughout the state in his elections, but against Teachout, there were upstate areas that did not go strongly for him, and in fact, that she and her running mate Tim Wu won. So I think Nixon has to do well in the city to have a chance. But I don't think Andrew Cuomo is like a lock upstate. If a smart candidate, which she may or may not be, could exploit weaknesses, problems, resentments, and the fact that this might be a low turnout race, and do more damage than you might think, just looking at her as a downstate actress, woman, bisexual, all the things that don't traditionally run well upstate.
Well, there's two very contentious primaries that are getting started, and of course we do want to encourage people to go out and vote in those primaries to choose the final runners. However, I do want to turn a little bit away from the gubernatorial races and to some action on the part of the governor's office. Now, Governor Cuomo, not himself, but of course has directed the State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman to take a look at the way the Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance is handling some of his criminal investigations, specifically pertaining to the Weinstein case. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, Governor Cuomo has told the Attorney General to look into the way Cy Vance has handled this in a way that doesn't affect the ongoing criminal investigation. What it means is I think you have a political debate about how men in power have handled accusations like this against other men in power. And then you have the fact that there is an ongoing criminal probe. Whether this will generate any news about Cy Vance, any commendations or condemnations of his office, I don't know. But this is Andrew Cuomo trying to really shore up his base among women, as well as address whatever he feels personally about this case.
Well, Jarrett, once again, I want to thank you for joining us on the program to definitely walk us through these two contentious gubernatorial primaries. And of course, we will be back as these unfold.
Thanks, anytime.
Thank you.